Hello, my name is Kimberly Thomas, and today I'm going to be doing a presentation for my Management 4260 class, otherwise known as Small Business and Entrepreneurship. This is our class project. Mine is titled Examining the New Growth Industry of Medical Marijuana, and it's a SWOT analysis of JW Pharmaceuticals. So I'm just going to jump right into it. So the strengths are revenue. I'm just going to read a snippet of what I've written for this. So basically, medical marijuana sales are projected to grow from 4.7 billion in 2016 to 13.3 billion in 2020. So that's a massive amount of growth, and I think that's really important. They're also going to be teaming up with Bayer, which is the popular aspirin company that you can, you get the Bayer over the counter. So they're going to be marketing their products, so it's going to get a lot of exposure. There's going to be a lot of job growth. Let me just read here. It says by 2024, manufacturing jobs are expected to decline by 814,000. And by 2020, the legal cannabis market will create more than 250,000 jobs. So that's a large jar. That's a large jump in job growth. And also, there's a lot of market growth going on. And the weaknesses, definitely the negative stigmas. You always hear just bad things about marijuana. Even though medical marijuana does exist for just a plethora of different illnesses that need to be treated. Let's see, just negative stigmas like, oh, you're a stoner, oh, you're gonna be lazy. That's not necessarily the truth. There's gonna be restrictions on research. And also there's high costs of growing marijuana because it has to be in a really controlled environment. Has to have a lot of circulation and the light, and I mean it's just a lot going to it. Just making sure you have the right soil and everything. And also they're mostly grown indoors, so it has to be a really controlled environment. So opportunities, there's going to be, an increase in the number of patients between now and 2020. I mean, there's going to be baby boomers that are, having more illnesses as they, get older, and just there's just a lot more illnesses out there than there were before. Primarily, it's for epilepsy in children. The drug that I'm talking about here, let me just find it. It's called a Pedialyx. That is what GW Pharmaceuticals is manufacturing. And it does just have that high potential growth just from the number of cases of epilepsy that's been occurring over the past couple of years, and it's just continuing to grow. So hopefully they will be able to bring that into the market so they can treat epilepsy. And then the threats, so there's a risk of consumption of the pesticide residue that goes into growing the marijuana, as well as other toxins. So there were a few long-term side effects according to new studies, and I'm just going to go through just briefly some of them. There can be respiratory problems depending on how you smoke it. Cardiovascular risks, mental health effects. Let's see. Definitely, I've heard of the long-term marijuana use can, decrease the individual's memory. So that, the long-term memory is going to just basically go away eventually if it's just used too much. See, with child development, there's also a risk for that. They're saying that marijuana used during pregnancy can affect the development of the fetus's brain and has been linked to other behavioral problems within babies. And also just the competition of big pharma they're mostly marketing towards or marketing against actually the use of cannabinoid, since that's what they're going towards, because they typically don't use medical marijuana in their medicines. It's basically just anything, that your doctor typically prescribes. It doesn't have marijuana in it at all. So they're going to be marketing against that. They're gonna say, what, this isn't right. So you need to just take these medicines that we're prescribing and not them, because it can be really bad. There's all really terrible side effects. So that's basically what's happening at the moment. But as a summary, I just think JW Pharmaceuticals is in a really good place at the moment. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely room to grow. Like I said, there's potential growth. I mean, just massive growth, and there's so many investors invested into this market. Also, just adding on to there, what Spite said. He said some analysts think their cannabinoid drug use or drugs could reach peak annual sales of $3 billion, and that's really good potential there. But mostly, this is about the use of medical marijuana in the treatment of children with epilepsy as well as adults. Just there's so many negative side effects with the different drugs that they already use, and just having medical marijuana just in that form of a pill, in pill form or vapor, just whatever it may be, it will decrease the side effects substantially, and that's what I'm hoping to see, and that's what I have. And I want to thank you for watching, and you have a great rest of the day.